Hey everyone, welcome back to Talking Tuong, the COVID edition. I hate that. Quarantine edition. I still hate that. Let's just say it's Talking Tuong. We are back. The used to be live stream show, but now it's a show that brings people together through the internet, where I get to talk to people that are also in quarantine, but it's a way for us to connect and talk about some fun stuff that's not, a bummer, stuff like pop culture, things that right now are nice distractions in the world. And joining me all the way from Halifax, a Haligonian kind of representative herself, we have Samantha Leggatt, everyone.
Hi, Tuong. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Sam. It's been not that long. I was going to say it's been a while, but we actually talked a few days ago. So I actually kind of know everything that's going on in your life. But Sam, for the people at home who didn't listen to the latest Ranked episode, this episode will release much sooner than that. So tell the people at home, how are you holding up right now, and what's new in your life?
Oh, holding up in my tower here. New.
You live in a tower?
Well, I like to fantasize that it's a tower. Get me through the day.
Yeah.
It feels like being Rapunzel cooped up in here, though. Gotta say,
right.
We don't really have a yard. We're in an Airbnb, as Tuong knows, but all you guys, we're not with our own stuff, so it's tiny living spaces with.
How's the Airbnb life? Like, do you live with the person who's renting out the Airbnb, or what? Okay.
This is just like having our own little apartment. Just like an apartment for 4 months or whatever. But it's weird not having our stuff. And it's like communal laundry too, which was something I wasn't super excited about given all the things going down. But
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we got to deal with that all the time, that whole communal laundry life. So I feel that. But Sam, otherwise, you're being safe, you're being healthy, and the Halifax is also not being reckless, I assume.
Yeah, I think we're doing as good as we possibly can. Halifax is doing pretty good. I know they're issuing really high fines right now for being out in parks. They're mostly taped up, and if you're in a group of 5 or more, you're going to get dinged pretty hard. So they're really policing it now.
And you also deal with a lot of hurricane-like weather over there, is what I hear.
Yeah, it's beautiful now, but last week we had some pretty high winds.
And that happens like pretty frequently?
We've been told since we've been here, the weather has been like pretty decent for us, but we've definitely seen some of the torrential downpours that they experience. So.
We should set this up where Sam is only temporarily living over there for work purposes.
Correct.
Yes, but she is not an official Haligonian yet.
Honorary Haligonian.
Honorary. What is the most Halifax thing that you've done?
I would have to say go to Peggy's Cove. That felt like pretty touristy. It was really nice. We went on a beautiful day. We actually went the Saturday before all these shutdowns started happening, so we just got it in. And even then, I remember walking through the gift shop and being like, don't touch much. Like, wash your hands after. Like, this seems sketchy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably the most Haligonian thing. We haven't even got to have that much seafood since we're here, to be honest. Actually, that's not true. I had mussels like 3 times in 1 week when I discovered I liked them.
Oh, mussels are so good.
Yeah.
So the seafood over there is good. I've never been.
It's very good. It's very good. It's such a cute city. I'm actually really loving here. It's a real bummer that we've come for 4 months and really only got to do a month of stuff. And it was like February. So it was like kind of, it was cold still. But we fit in a lot in that first month. We walked out and we like ate out constantly. So
cool. Is it cheaper? I guess it must be cheaper. Like seafood wise, is not cheaper.
I would say restaurants are quite comparable, to be honest. And like the it's not LCBO here, it's NSLC. And the beer by cans is much more expensive.
Oh, what are we talking here?
Like $4 to $5 a can, easy.
Oh my
Lord. Like close to 5.
And Sam, you famously love beer.
I famously love beer.
You famously love beer. So to have more expensive beer, that must hurt the wallet a little bit.
Well, yeah. So we've been like stocking up from like breweries and stuff much more than the provincial stores. So that's like good. We've been getting growlers.
You want to support the breweries anyway.
And now that the quarantine is here, we've definitely been supporting the breweries as well. Excellent. Like ordering the stuff. So it's been good.
Well, Sam, I'm glad you're doing well. Again, today we are going to celebrate stuff that makes us happy, makes us distracted from the cold, harsh realities of the world. And let's just get started with something that Sam and I have bonded over with for the last couple of weeks is Animal Crossing. We don't have to do I could do a whole episode on Animal Crossing.
Oh my God. Where do we start? It's the world we get to live in right now.
Yes. Again, we could talk about probably an hour or two about this game. But I want to distill it into one emotion here. How do you feel about this game?
Invested. And I'm trying to think of a word that I want, but like connected in a time where you like can't be with your friends. On Animal Crossing, you get to like be with your friends. So it's kind of cute.
It is, I would say it's beyond just kind of cute. It's very cute.
Yeah, I saw you had a party or something last night.
I went to one of my work colleagues had an Animal Crossing birthday party on their island.
I did that on our first week too.
And it's like, there's some like stuff that's like kind of annoying. Like when someone flies into your island, it loads into a screen and it's a whole thing. But once you have everyone there just being cute, running around your island, there's just something really magical about it.
Yes.
It's so nice. And I mean, the game just came out and I looked at my game clock and it says 60 hours.
Oh God, I do not want to look at mine. I refuse.
But I feel like I feel like I've only just started playing. There's just so much more game to go through. It's very, very exciting. I can't say enough good things about this game. It is the most perfect quarantine game and by far the best Animal Crossing game I've ever played. So
yeah, and I saw in a chat I'm in, 2 more people I know also just bought second Switches for their significant others. So the tally for me is up to like 4 people I know having done this.
Including me. I've done this. Yeah. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm sharing my island with... Well, that's not true. I was very prepared to share my island with Laura, but the second player doesn't get as much power, I guess. Mm-hmm. So she wanted to do all that responsibility. I'm like, you know what? Nope, you're making too much decisions on PodCavern Island. No, thank you. Get your own. Well, I bought her a Switch. So
I love also like I was afraid I was overhyping this game to like a few newbies coming to the game. Like I've played the one on the Wii and the GameCube and the DS. Like I've done it all. I'm in deep. But there's a few people that I was like, you should get this game. You should get this game. And people are like, oh, I don't know if I want to commit. It's like Nintendo games are pricey. But they fell in love like immediately. And I was like, so right? Like so many people that were off put by it. I was like, no, just try. And I was a little worried, but
it's hard to sell the game on to people. If you're like just watching gameplay footage, it's like, oh, you're just running around catching bugs and catching fish. What a big deal. And it's like, oh, it's a big deal.
Back to your like question about like summing it up in a word too. And like what I sell people on it now that I'm thinking about it is charming. Like the game is just charming as fuck, right?
It is. Yeah, it's magical. I can't wait to finish this this podcast so we can go back to playing Animal Crossing.
Like let's wrap this up.
That's okay. Let's move on. All right. So the next thing is a video game that you might not be aware of, but Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is a game that I've been waiting for forever, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm so in deep with Animal Crossing that this game that I've been waiting like over a decade for, I'm like, oh man, this game comes out on Friday, but that's going to cut into my Animal Crossing time. This is literally...
That is a dilemma.
It's just a dilemma. I'll definitely be playing this game I've been waiting so long for.
I don't envy you, yeah.
But it's just one of those things where I'm like, I have another video game to play? It's such a first world problem. It's so dumb. And last video game news, I'm only going to bring this up is because we talked about this on our Zombies episode, is The Last of Us. And The Last of Us 2, it is a video game that everybody's also been waiting for. It's supposed to be released in May. This game's been delayed quite a few times. This game has infinite amount of hype. I mean, there's a TV show in the making.
Man, I didn't realize it was coming out in May already.
But it's now indefinitely postponed. And it's so sad. It's like I've been also waiting for this game forever, but I guess it's just more Animal Crossing time. Tiger King is we're not going to talk about Tiger King, but I just read this now is Tiger King is getting another episode next week.
What? No way.
Yeah.
What?
I just saw a tweet from Jeff Lowe himself and his wife. They're like, they're like, hey, Netflix is putting out another episode of Tiger King, and I'm like, oh. That's weird, bit interesting.
Is super weird.
Yeah, because I was going to do a Talking Tongue episode about Tiger King. I'm sorry?
Is it confirmed?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Next week.
Oh,
Crazy.
okay. I mean, I'm glad I get another one, but
Yeah. There is a new Marvel Phase 4 lineup right now. Let me just read this quick to you,
ooh.
Sam. Black Widow was supposed to come out last month, as we both know,
Mm,
but now there's only one movie slated for Marvel this year, and that's Black Widow, November 6th, 2020. I'm hoping everything's good by
yikes.
November
Okay.
6th, 2020. Eternal, Shang-Chi, and Doctor Strange in 2021, Thor, Love and Thunder, Black Panther 2, and Captain Marvel 2 in 2022.
Hmm.
So COVID has really affected the superhero
Yeah.
releases. I think we were supposed to get Disney Plus Marvel shows this summer. I don't think that's happening.
What? Really? Oh, that
Yeah, because
sucks.
they have to
Oh,
finish
because they're not
filmings.
finished. Right, right, right. Okay.
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
bummer.
Looks like we
Um,
just need to make more cartoons. We don't need to be in the same room for that. And
Yeah, that'd be
more
good. I'm
content.
fine with that.
Yeah, let's do some
Do the
animated stuff.
Marvel What If series. That's supposed to be animated,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I don't know if it halted or where it's at, but
Yeah. Um, GameStop this is the last game news. GameStop, I'm only saying this because they've been pitching themselves as GameStop and EB Games, I should be saying, pitched themselves as an essential service around the world. And they got so much shit from everybody, which I'm very happy about. And just recently, they got all their stores in Massachusetts all closed down because the government got involved. And yeah, this makes sense. I mean, video games is definitely what's keeping me distracted, but you don't need to have physical video game stores open right now.
no, you could definitely buy it online. We're capable of doing such a thing, so
Yeah, the internet exists. It is not an essential service.
no,
That
no,
is nuts.
definitely not. What a joke.
Sam, have you ever seen Snowpiercer before?
No, what's that?
Oh, it's Bong Joon-ho's movie about with Chris Evans, kind of like Parasite on a train. Never
No.
seen that? You never seen Parasite?
No.
Oh boy.
I'm getting
Oh
there.
jeez.
Oh my god. Maybe I
Ah,
should watch
man.
that tonight. I'm sure there's a good copy.
You should definitely do that. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's a TV show coming, and it's supposed to. I didn't realize this until I saw the news, but it's coming in May,
Mm.
and it's definitely coming. In fact, it got pushed forward, so
Oh.
that's happening.
Oh,
I
I
don't think.
heard more entertainment news that Netflix is doing a live action Avatar series.
Oh, like Airbender,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know details, but I saw an article the other day. So
Oh yes, yes. I remember reading about that. I don't. I think it's from the original creator who's also helping with the script and stuff like that.
good,
Not
good.
like the Ang Lee Avatar Last Airbender.
Ugh.
It's so
Wasn't
bad.
it
But
M
you
Night
watch.
Shyamalan?
Oh, yes. That's what. Yes. Uh, M Night Shyamalan. You're right.
Yeah.
It was so bad. It was so
I watched the
bad.
trailer after I finished the series, and the trailer made me want to puke.
Did you like the series?
I loved the series.
Oh, it is so
Oh,
well written.
I finished it, and I really tried to milk those last few episodes, but it's so good.
It's so good. People are like, "Oh, it's just a kids show." I'm like,
No,
"Well, that's what it looks like on the outside." But you dive in there, and there's
oh,
just like perfect
it
character
takes them like
development.
time. Like it's a little slow to start, but like man, does it get crazy? Yeah, like the character development in that show is just insane.
Love it.
Yep.
All right, Sam. Last piece of news I have for you is Artemis Fowl, which I have no investment in, but it is a movie from Disney that was supposed to release on August 9th, 2019. It's about like a kid who, I don't know. I don't actually know exactly. It's a kid that's like, I want to say like a super spy or something like that. The posters show him with sunglasses and a suit. So I assume like some magical fantasy stuff happens to him.
Cody Banks.
That's kind of what I pictured. The news in this is that it was August 9th, 2019, got pushed to May 29th, 2020. And now that COVID's happening, they're like, fuck it. It's on Disney Plus or it's coming to Disney Plus. It's skipping its entire theatrical release,
To be
which I think
fair,
is
I feel like would it have done good in
no.
theaters? I don't
I think it
so.
would have bombed.
I think it would have bombed too. So
It's just interesting to me that Disney is making this move in general because you know how
yeah.
much they love money. So
Yeah, no kidding. I was also surprised that like Onward and Frozen 2 and all that. I'm surprised they're not gouging us with like online sales and stuff, but
yeah. Well, they would also be it would be a terrible PR move, really,
oh,
to
I
do
know.
that
I
in
thought it
times
was
like this.
just like interesting when Disney Plus came out in general. I was like, I'm surprised they're like, because like how often or like how quick do they put their new movies on there? Like they still want people to buy them, I would think. But I
Yes,
guess,
yes.
I don't know. It's just
But
weird.
in times like this, it's definitely weird. I mean, that's a perfect segue into our topic for today, our movie for the day.
Mm.
So with Talking Tongue's new format, we're going to discuss a movie that we both decided to watch together. I actually watched this yesterday. Same with you, right?
Yeah, last night.
We are talking about Onward, which came out originally February 29th of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then it actually came out on digital last week and released on Disney Plus April 3rd. So that is a very, very tiny window when it was in theaters. Yeah. It opened at $39 million, which is not very big, but of course, it really released on that window. I feel as though it might have not made gangbusters, but it definitely would have made more money than this, I would imagine, as a Pixar movie.
I don't know. You know, a bunch of the animators I work with, we were all planning to go to the movies together, obviously, before this all happened.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all kind of pitching to just go on a cheap night, which, you know, like usually if there's a movie I'm really dying, like, I don't know, when Frozen 2 came out, I was like, went on a weekend. Oh, actually, maybe I went on a cheap night. Anyways, this one I was like, obviously going to go see, but I wasn't super like excited about it.
Yeah, I felt the same. Watching the trailers, I was like, oh, I love the idea of a new Pixar film that is original.
Mm-hmm.
The trailers, the first teaser, I was on board, and then I accidentally got forced into, like, when I was at the theaters to watch the longer trailer. I'm like, oh, that trailer spoiled a lot.
Yeah, we heard that. And then this morning, after having watched the movie, we put on the trailer, and it does show a lot.
way too much.
A lot, yeah.
Let me tell you the synopsis of the movie, and maybe we can get like general feels about how we feel about the movie, and then we can go through some like favorite moments or anything like that. So the synopsis of the movie is teenage elf brothers Ian and Barley embark on a magical quest to spend one more day with their late father. Like any good adventure, their journey is filled with cryptic maps, impossible obstacles, and unimaginable discoveries. But when dear mom finds out her sons are missing, she teams up with a legendary manticore to bring her beloved boys back home. That seems pretty accurate.
Yeah, I guess that hits it all.
That's literally the entire plot of the movie.
That is the movie.
Sam, how did you feel about this movie?
I had a good time. I enjoyed it. I don't think it was like groundbreaking. It didn't like blow me away, but there were definitely some heartfelt moments. I mean, it was basically what I expect out of a Pixar movie, but maybe less creative. I don't know.
It's interesting to me. Like, I think the things that are creative about, okay, I'll start with some positives. I love the premise of this movie. I love also the idea of these fantasy characters living in like a very, I don't know, modern century human type of world.
Yeah, it's a fun world.
It's a fun world, and they do a lot of fun gags with that premise. So I really like that. But I would agree to say that when I finished the movie, I'm like, well, yes, I don't think this movie is groundbreaking. I think that's a really good word to use. Like, it didn't wow me the same way that, let's say, Inside Out did.
Yeah, agreed.
Or when I first watched Up, or it's not like Finding Nemo level or the first Incredibles level of stuff, right? But it's also definitely not a bad movie.
No, I feel like this is how I felt about Frozen 2 on that. Like, it's a fine movie. They did some good things.
Well, I felt like you had a much negative reaction to Frozen 2 from
negative. It was just whelmed. But
yeah.
we'll stay on track with this movie. Same kind. I wasn't whelmed by this movie. I did enjoy it. I had a good time. Will I rewatch it a ton? Probably not.
No, I also find with this movie, though, it was very easy to watch.
It was. Because it was like a simple quest. That's the thing. The story was very like formulaic, but like it worked because they're two guys going on a quest. So like they hit their speed bumps, they do their stuff, you know. It was very easy to watch. Pretty fast paced. Like the characters have to kind of like grow in the time we're given. So
yeah. I would agree. The beats in the movie are very predictable.
Yeah, that was one big issue, kind of. Not an issue, but I think it loses a lot of the impact of the like big moments because you kind of see them coming.
I imagine it's kind of tough with Pixar, although you just always imagine that they're able to crack the code every single movie. You're just like, oh, they cracked the code again. Of course they're doing it, right? But I would say, yeah, you watch the movie and none of it really steers away from what you imagine the movie like unfolding.
Yeah, it's true. There's just no real element of surprise or awe. Like, it was fun visually and there's like good stuff, like a story worth telling, but like
Mhm.
not a crazy story.
No, but I don't want to sell that short. Like, definitely that's a more negative when you compare it to the rest of the Pixar
Oh, of
catalog.
course. And it's hard when they have such heavy hitters. That's the thing. It's like Pixar's known for like taking risks and being experimental. And this didn't really feel like it was doing that so much. It felt
Hmm.
like Zootopia, but like a magic world instead of animal world.
That's right. Yeah. And I would say the message that he told isn't something I've never seen before, although it's told very well. And I
Yeah.
do love the exploration of, because they haven't really done that, I don't think, in Pixar movies, is the exploration of brotherly love.
Yes. I feel like they're going down a list. They're like, all right, what kind of love haven't we done? Who can we kill to get this across?
That's right. Who has to die?
Yeah, yeah. So I did agree. I'm like, I can't relate as much. I'm not a guy with a brother, but I mean, the feelings
You're
are
not a
still
guy. So
nah, yeah. But the sentiments are there, and like I think a
that's
lot
right.
of touching on like the different brothers aside, I think touching on the different ways each of them deals with their feelings of loss towards their dad is really interesting too. I think both the characters have such different ideas of like who their dad is and what they want to do with him for their one day, and it's kind of interesting to see the contrast there too, which I'd never would have thought about.
Yeah, I actually really love that point, and I love how also the mother in the movie also, talks about the father. Like,
Mhm.
she's not like, I don't know, she's not crying all the time. She's a very strong woman, but she's very respectful of her late husband as well.
Yeah,
But she's
and
also
she's got a
in a
new
healthy
guy.
relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's yeah, exactly a healthy. They don't paint her new guy as like some dick that nobody likes. Like
he's just kind of like a lamer, but like he's
he's lame,
also, but he's lovable, but he's not like
but
it's not one of those things where you're like, okay, the dad's gonna come back and steal away the mom again.
right,
It's not like
yeah,
that.
no. And the kids aren't like super rude to him or anything. Like it's not like the tired kind of things we see a lot.
Yeah.
So it definitely had some like new stuff that was nice.
Yeah, I want to list off some of the cast here. We have Tom Holland as the main character,
Mhm.
Ian Lightfoot. We also have Chris Pratt as Barley Lightfoot, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Laurel Lightfoot, Octavia Spencer as the Manticore, Mel Rodriguez as the boyfriend, the other cop, or the head cop, I guess,
Mhm.
Colt Bronco, and then we have a bunch of other guests in here too. What did you think of? I suppose let's go into the two main characters, Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. How did you feel about them?
I was hesitant going in, but I think they were really suited for the roles they did. I think Tom Holland plays the like quirky kid coming of age so well at this point that
Yes, he's mastered it.
it seemed like an obvious choice, and I didn't like I wasn't like seeing him in my head too much, whereas Chris Pratt sometimes you can get like caught up in being like, oh, I'm hearing Chris Pratt, but I think Chris Pratt was also really good for his role.
Oh yeah, I agree. I was actually
Yeah,
kind of
I
surprised
was
with Chris
impressed.
Pratt because there's something about, like, I was thinking, like, because people's opinions on Chris Pratt has definitely changed throughout the years. Like,
Yes,
everyone loved Chris Pratt during Parks and Rec, and then they turned on him suddenly.
yeah.
And now it's because when he became a big movie star, they're like, oh, what a sellout kind of thing. And I feel I like him. He's no longer like my favorite, but I also don't hate when he's on
Right.
something.
Yeah. Uh,
That said, I thought in this movie, I thought he was going to try to steal the show with his voice acting, which he did not
hmm
do.
Yeah, I think he was in there just a good amount. You're right. I was afraid it was going to become the Chris Pratt show, and it really didn't. And I found his character not altogether super Chris Pratty. Like, I mean, he was like that cute, lovable big guy, but like, I don't know. There was
But
like
he's
more
very
to
nerdy
him.
too, right?
Yeah, and just the way he interacts. I think a lot of it really plays into the way he plays off of Tom too. Though I
Hmm.
think their dynamic just worked well enough that he didn't overpower him. He and because of the theme of the movie, without getting into like spoiler territory, just the nature of their relationship really. I feel like Chris Pratt's voice sold
Yeah,
that.
I agree, and I think it really sold me that they were brothers in the movie. So
Mhm.
I did really like that.
He was over the top where he should be over the top, and he like definitely stood back when he needed to like stand back. So
Yeah, you almost thought that like Chris Pratt's character would be just comedic relief,
yeah, yeah, it's true. So
because
it's
you're like,
nice
oh,
that
Chris Pratt's in the movie. They're just going to do a bunch of visual gags with him, and he's just going to be a big dope the entire time. And he does
yeah.
do dopey things, but it wasn't like that the entire movie.
Yeah, it was a surprisingly, yeah. I was surprised by Chris Pratt and how well he fit there.
Same. And I also really like Julia Louis-Dreyfus's mom character too. I thought she
Hmm.
like played a really like powerful mom, but also like just a good mom. I don't know. Like
She
she
was
felt
a
like a just a
really, yeah, good mom character and like
yeah,
relatable, but like not just like this is a mom. This is like the
yeah.
mom stereotypes and the mom tropes. Like yeah, she had character.
Yeah, and she didn't like rely on anybody to get stuff done. She just like did
No.
it, and that's what I really enjoyed about her character.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like hitting you over the face with anything that's just like, it wasn't just like girl power. I'm my own kind of woman kind of thing. She just did it, and it was
Yeah.
just nice. I really liked
Agreed.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Manticore character I thought was also very fun too.
She's more the comedic relief, I
Yes,
feel like, of the
definitely.
show. Yeah, she's pretty fun. I did like that.
I thought it was Maya Rudolph for a little bit,
I didn't
to
even
be honest.
consider. Yeah, I was like, I didn't even realize. I think I knew it was Octavia Spencer, but I like totally forgot when we were watching. Like, I didn't see her or anything
Yeah,
in my
very
brain.
fun character.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What I want to talk a little bit about what did you think about the dad character? The dad's legs are in the
Oh my
movie,
god.
the entire movie.
Yeah, yeah. So the animation on the dad when he has the like this the sweater on top or whatever, the
Yep.
droopy like derpy stuff. Like
The
I
Weekend at Bernie's thing.
love. Yeah, I was getting flashbacks too to Pixar Toy Story 3 when they make the what's his name, Mr. Potato Head out of the pita, and he has to like
Oh, yes.
wobble through the yard. And I just remember seeing that in theaters and like crying. I was laughing so hard, and I feel like I got the same vibes with this guy. I just loved watching him like flounder around the screen.
Yeah, it was so fun. And
Yeah.
we will get into spoilery territory soon, but
Mhm.
there's a lot of sweet moments that this non-speaking character, just legs, was
Yeah.
doing. And I was like, oh, that's kind of nice, It just made me feel happy.
Yeah, I
I,
think Pixar is really good at getting emotions out of characters. Like Wally is a robot who doesn't talk. There's like no speech in that movie for the first hour. And here too, we have a character that doesn't talk, but like you get so much from them. And I feel like that's another thing that it's just like Pixar's like mastered it. They know how to do characters. Like
mm-hmm. Is there any moment in the movie, we can get into spoilery stuff now, in the
yeah.
movie that you're like, I really, really enjoyed this, or anything like that?
Um
Like any standout moments, I guess is my question.
Yeah, and see, I feel like that's where the movie. That's why overall, I'm like, it was okay. It's just like I can't really give a moment where I was like, whoa, this like was the best. I
Right.
guess the emotional ones, and if we're getting spoilery, I did like how it ended. So
Yeah, I
I
did too.
I did like that.
The, you obviously you can kind of see it coming with
Yes.
the emotional moment, but I don't want to sell that short because when it happened, I'm like, ah, shit, it kind of got me anyways,
Well, it's funny because we were watching it last night, and yeah, I saw it coming too, and he's like marking off his stuff on his paper, and I was like, duh. But then, then this morning I was like fast forwarding the movie just to like rewatch it, bits of it again, and I like rewatched that ending bit where the dad. We're in spoiler territory now, right?
Yeah, we're in the
Where
spoiler.
the dad like comes back, and I like how little you see of the whole interaction
Yeah.
once he is back, and I think Tom Holland like watching his brother be with him through the little hole. Like I started crying again this morning watching
Yeah,
it, and I
I
wasn't
love
even like
that.
watching the movie, but I was like, this is so good and sad and
I wasn't
cute.
actually expecting that. Like I
Yeah,
expected Tom Holland making the references that his brother is like a father figure to
yeah,
him.
yeah.
I expected that, even though I will say that
Yes.
definitely still got me to an extent,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but that moment, you're right, that exact moment where he's looking at his brother connect with his father is like, oh,
Yeah.
that's actually really sad, but really
It's so
beautiful.
nice seeing him to get that, especially finding out like that he had that other memory and like that he was too scared to see him when he was sick or whatever, which is like another thing I thought was just interesting. Like I've never been through something so tragic, but that's something that kids probably that happens all the time where kids are obviously scared of a sick parent. Like the hospitals are scary and I
Yeah.
think this was just like a really relatable moment that maybe not everyone has like encountered, but was something worth like visiting, which is what I'm saying. The movie definitely touches on things that are new, but
Yeah, I agree.
it
I
was
agree.
very touching.
Yeah, those emotional beats are still very effective. I
Mm-hmm.
will definitely give it
So,
that.
like peeking at him through the hole and not getting to really see the dad and the sunset, like visually too, like it's such a beautiful moment.
And then they just them both hugging each other at the end. It's like, oh,
Oh,
that's nice too. He's like, Dad
God.
told me to give you this, and I'm like, God damn
I
it! Of
know,
course you're
I
gonna do
know.
that,
I was
but
like,
God
how
damn
dare you?
it, you weren't supposed to. I predicted this whole movie.
Yeah,
Cries.
yeah. I was laughing this morning too. I was like, again, just like kind of talking about how the kid was too scared. I was like, like the kid was too scared to like see his dad or say bye. I'm like, just like Peter Quillins, and I'm like, maybe Chris Pratt's just not allowed to like see his parents. It's like a
That's
character thing
funny.
for him now.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to touch on. I was just thinking about this. The Guinevere van, whole
Oh, I
Guinevere
love the
stuff.
van.
Yeah, I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, they really made that van a character in this movie.
Yeah.
Like it very. I was like, oh no, it wasn't just a van. It definitely felt like a steed.
Yeah,
Like
it was a very emotional moment when he like sends off his van.
he puts the rock on
Yeah.
the pedal, and he puts on
Oh
like
my god,
the
the
something
music.
Valhalla,
Yes. Oh my
and
god,
you're
the
like, oh my
music.
god, and then
Yeah.
you see the van just blow
Oh
up, or
my
not,
god.
it gets crushed by a bunch of rocks, and you're like, oh, rest in peace, van. Like that was, oh, that's sad.
Man, and that's totally his character too. Like really taking control and being like that father-like figure. He's like getting shit done, like for the benefit of them both. And
Yeah,
the poor Van.
poor van, poor van. I will say the animation, of course, was good in this movie. There wasn't anything that stuck out.
Oh
Like,
man,
yeah, is there anything in
yeah,
particular?
the animation's great, and I just feel like that's like a Pixar. They're just so
Yeah,
good at it now that, of course, it's great.
oh yeah, I'm not gonna say it's a bad animation by it's definitely very, very good. Usually though, I feel like in Pixar movies they pick a very specific spot to like show off.
Mhm.
Like Finding Dory, whether you feel about Finding Dory or not, the octopus in Finding Dory, that was a
Mhm.
really big animation breakthrough for them. Or in
Yes.
Coco, when they're showing off like all like that city, I forget what they call it,
Mhm.
the afterlife city.
Mhm.
There was like, I remember there being a breakdown of like how they all,
Yeah.
each individual window was like a specific color palette and how they did that. I didn't see anything like that in this movie.
No, I guess it's hard like to innovate so much and like whatever.
Yeah,
Like the octopus came because there's an octopus in the movie and they're like, we can do this. And I guess when they made this one, there's just wasn't an obstacle like that
maybe it
to
was the
really
dragon.
tackle. I thought the dragon was kind of whelming too, to be honest, as the big
Yeah,
curse. Like
yeah,
whatever. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. There was nothing like, again, the movie was like not groundbreaking.
yes.
Like
But it's definitely not offensive and very. I think it's worth a watch for sure.
we were
And it's
laughing this
esp-
morning at the animation too. Brad was noticing like the Chris Pratt's character is like chunkier, right? And like they animate his like arm fat jiggle. Like it's just like the attention to detail and how lifelike Pixar animators
oh,
are, which is insane. Like looking at it as an animator, I'm like, this blows my mind at the amount of time and like details of everything. They're like just always alive, and it's just so much work. So I mean, I could never say enough about the animation in it, really.
right. I mean, there's definitely some cool stuff. I don't want to sell it short as
Yeah,
well. Like,
yeah.
giant Cheeto floating down that whole sequence with they're kind of running away from the booby traps and stuff like that. That was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
I felt
Mm-hmm.
and I will say, like, to you and me, especially this fantasy setting and
Mm-hmm.
quests and stuff like that. I think that just it automatically already got me in a way. It's kind of like, of course I'm gonna like this movie. It's about a quest. I like
Yeah.
quests. I like fantasy.
I
I
like
like
having a good time.
I like having a good time, and this movie was a good time. It's definitely worth a
It is a
watch.
good time.
And if you have Disney Plus, you should 100% watch it. Like, there's not much on there anyways, I would say, that is new. So this movie's very new. This just came out like a month ago.
Yeah, it's like I was gonna go see it in theaters like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, me too. I was like,
Yeah,
almost bought my ticket.
right.
That's insane. Any closing thoughts on Onward?
Mm, not really. Would you watch a
Not really.
sequel?
Will I watch a sequel? Sure, I'd be curious to what they do with the sequel. I'm not dying to see a sequel. I
Yeah,
don't need a sequel.
yeah, I would
But
agree.
I also don't need a sequel to most Pixar movies, so
It's
it's
true.
fine.
Yeah.
Although Toy Story has always managed to get me every time. So definitely there's room for sequels. I really like when they do original stuff. And
I do too. And I think the more of that, the better.
I will say also, this movie is only an hour and 42 minutes, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good length.
It's a good pace movie too. Like there was never a moment where I was like, this movie's dragging. Like even if you knew where the movie was going, it wasn't like, oh, they're spending too long in this one section. They just kept going, which was great.
There was really no time, to drag. It was just go, go, go. So
yeah, really like that. And that is the episode of Talking Tongue today. Sam, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Now we have a couple things to discuss with the audience here.
Ooh. Spicy.
And one of them being, well, first of all, before I get into that, is there anything that you're looking forward to in the next couple weeks or months? Something that's nice that you're looking forward to? Maybe if it's a movie, if it's TV show, if it's music, anything
like that? Well,
now
I'm looking forward to that new Tiger King episode.
It's true. Me too. I'm so curious. Carol Baskin.
Oh my God. I don't know. What else is coming out? You probably know more than me.
No, actually, I didn't do any research for this part of it. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely stuff, but I don't want to get myself too hyped because there's just a delay every single time.
Yeah.
So who knows?
I can't think of anything.
Who knows? It is a good period. I'm looking forward to playing more Animal Crossing.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Now, Sam, what we have to discuss is we've been talking for months now.
Yeah. Literal months.
We've discussed this many times that we wanted to do podcasting together, but we already lived in different cities. Since 2 years ago, we lived in different cities now, and we wanted to keep this thing going.
No,
it's been 2 years.
What?
Yeah.
No fucking way. That's okay. Yeah. Blowing my mind.
Yeah. So what I was going to say was we wanted to create, like, we love Disney. That's just always been a thing that connected us. And Sam and I wanted to kind of revisit old Disney movies and rewatch them. And you want to sell it to the people, Sam.
We want to get you excited about watching them again, as excited as we are watching them again, to, reignite that fire that burns within us all that love cartoon.
Right. Or maybe be like, oh, that movie wasn't that good after all.
Or that, yeah, I guess. Or shit on old movies, whatever.
There is two things that we had. We were either going to do a Simpsons type of podcast or a Disney type of podcast. And we're going with Disney because Disney Plus came out.
Yeah. Now we have access. Yeah.
Yeah. Might as well use that
Simpsons
subscription.
Is also on Disney Plus.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that was a news story. The Disney Plus, the 4:3 aspect ratio comes out at the end of May for all the episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're going to fix it by the end of May. So that's really cool.
Well, that's what I'm excited about then.
I'm very excited for that. For those of you who don't know, they changed the aspect ratio for the older seasons of The Simpsons on Disney Plus, and a lot of visual gags got cut out because of it. Mm-hmm. Not cool. No. But our podcast is called, Sam, you want to introduce it?
We are the Disney Dummies.
Disney Dummies. I'm pretty sure that we're like, Disney Dummies? Is that the one we want to go with?
Is that what we're going with?
I think we just said it.
I guess I did.
PodCavern presents Disney Dummies. I like it.
I do too. You know what? It's cute. It works.
It's cute. There's alliteration. We are dummies. We love Disney, but we're dummies. So we're trying to educate ourselves on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're going to dive into every single, we're going to go through a lot of the old catalog.
I would imagine we're starting with Snow White.
Yeah.
Right? We're doing feature films here first.
Yeah, exactly. And if we ever run out, then maybe we'll do something else down the line. Mm-hmm. But we want to uncover some fun facts about Disney films that we didn't know when we were kids. Because when we were kids, we were just watching the films. We never really thought about behind the scenes stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. We'll get into fun stuff. Hopefully you'll learn a bit about the show
we'll learn a bit
and about yourselves.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's it for Talking Tongue, everyone. Thanks again, Sam, and hope you're staying safe and healthy. Can't wait to do Disney Dummies with you.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.